I'm Buzz. Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into everything K-pop, from iconic comebacks to the controversies that light up the fandoms. And today, oof, we've got ourselves a hot topic that's got netizens absolutely fuming. And it's all about something as symbolic and sacred in K-pop as the music itself, Lightsticks. So let's talk about what went down. On July 11 KST, HYBE's global rookie girl group, Katseye, officially unveiled their Lightstick design. Now normally, this is a moment fans celebrate, right? A new Lightstick means a new identity, something tangible fans can hold up during concerts and wave like a badge of honor. But this time, the celebration took a sharp turn. Instead of cheers, what Katseye and by extension HYBE got was a wave of backlash. And not just because of the design being too basic, as some fans pointed out, but because Stray Kids fans started calling them out for something way more serious: plagiarism. Yes, plagiarism. That word is flying all over social media right now. The accusation that Katseye's newly revealed Lightstick looks strikingly similar to Stray Kids' Lightstick, the one that's been around and recognized for years. Side-by-side comparison photos started making the rounds within hours, and let me tell you, once you see them, it's hard not to do a double take. Let's break down the main visual issue. While Stray Kids' Lightstick has evolved over time, the core concept and visual aesthetic have remained consistent: strong, symbolic, sleek. Now Katseye's version? Fans argue it mimics that same energy, shape, and even vibe. Even if it's technically different, visually, the resemblance is enough to stir a whole storm online. Katseye stans, understandably, came to defend the group, saying that it's just based on the original Katseye logo. They're saying it's more of a branding choice than anything else. But here's where it gets tricky. In K-pop, Lightsticks are not just merchandise. They're like a group's identity crystallized, a representation of the bond between idols and fans. So when something looks too close to another group's Lightstick, especially a group as big as Stray Kids, people take it seriously. Let me pause here and ask you guys directly. Do you think the design is too similar, or are fans just reaching? Because honestly, I've looked at the photos, and while I don't think HYBE literally traced Stray Kids' design, I can't deny that the vibe is weirdly close. And I'm not even a stay, but I get why they're mad. What makes this even more controversial is HYBE's reputation in the industry. This isn't a small company testing the waters, it's a K-pop giant. So when a company with this much power launches a new girl group and rolls out a Lightstick that immediately draws comparisons to an already established group from another big agency like JYP, people start asking, is this laziness? Is it intentional? Or is it just a PR disaster? Personally, I think HYBE dropped the ball here. Hard. Even if there wasn't any bad intention, you've got to wonder, how did this pass through the design and approval stages without anyone saying, hey, doesn't this look a bit familiar? In a fandom-driven industry like K-pop, where originality and identity are everything, that kind of oversight is just wild. Also, let's be honest, Katseye is still a rookie group. They're just starting to find their place, and this controversy might affect how they're perceived by other fandoms. And let's not forget how vicious stan culture can be. When something like this happens, it can lead to long-term beef between fandoms that trickles down into comment wars, fan chants, and even streaming behavior. Now, some people might say, it's just a Lightstick, who cares? But in K-pop, that Lightstick is your weapon, your pride, your declaration of loyalty. It's like someone showing up to a cosplay convention with a slightly bootleg version of your favorite character's outfit and saying, it's original, I swear. You'd feel some type of way, right? So, here's a question for you all. Should K-pop agencies start involving fans more in design processes like this? Would that help avoid issues like this in the future? Or would it just create more chaos? And where's the line between taking inspiration and straight up copying? I'd really love to hear what you guys think, especially if you're a Stay or a Katseye fan. Let me know in the comments, because this situation feels like it's only getting started. Let's keep going, because this controversy isn't just about design anymore. It's exposing a much bigger issue in K-pop, the way some companies are handling global branding, especially with newer groups like Katseye. HYBE has been aggressively pushing this global group narrative for Katseye, right? Multinational members, big production budgets, international promotions. They're clearly trying to make Katseye the next big thing on a global scale. But that makes this Lightstick controversy even more ironic. You can't market a group as being innovative and fresh, and then turn around and release something that fans say feels copied from another successful group. That's not innovation. That's reputation damage waiting to happen. And I want to be super clear here. I don't blame the members of Katseye. They're probably just as shocked as we are. This is a company-level decision, and the backlash is unfortunately falling onto the group, which isn't fair. The members are working hard to debut and build a name, and now this scandal is what people are talking about instead of their music or performances. What also gets me thinking is how companies continue to underestimate just how vigilant K-pop fans are. Like seriously, nothing gets past fans. From logo fonts to stage outfits to lightstick shapes, fans notice everything. And when you've got fandoms as passionate and organized as Stay's, calling out similarities isn't just a maybe, it's a guarantee. Companies should know better by now. And let's talk about fan wars for a second. I've seen Stay's calling out HYBE with receipts, timelines, even visual breakdowns of both designs. And then Katseye fans are trying to defend the Lightstick as being based on the group's concept and logo. The problem is, once that comparison has been made public, even neutral fans start taking sides. And let's be real, this doesn't just damage fan relations. It affects trust in the company too. HYBE already has a complicated reputation in the K-pop world, especially with how they've handled previous controversies involving New Jeans, BTS, and even LE Seraphim. This Lightstick drama is just another layer to the pile, and for fans who already feel skeptical of HYBE's intentions, it's basically confirmation bias. So what could HYBE have done differently? First, more transparency would help. If the design truly was inspired by something unique to Katseye, like their logo or a storyline from their concept universe, then say that. Show the process, share sketches, let fans see how you got from point A to point B. Because right now, without that context, people are just assuming the worst. Second, maybe companies need to bring in fan consultants. I'm not even joking. Have fan representatives who can preview things like lightsticks or album packaging and give early feedback. It might sound chaotic, but it could prevent these PR disasters before they even happen. But at the end of the day, the real question is, will HYBE respond? Will they clarify the design inspiration? Will they double down and ignore the backlash? Or will they take a step back and revise the Lightstick? And more importantly, will this hurt Katseye's ability to grow a solid fan base, especially with Stray Kids fans now feeling defensive and protective over their group's identity? And here's a wild thought. What if JYP responds? We've seen companies get involved before when plagiarism accusations get serious. If this turns into a legal situation, or even just a public feud, that would be a whole new level of K-pop chaos, and honestly, it wouldn't be the first time. So before we wrap up, I want to throw the mic back to you guys. Do you think this situation is getting blown out of proportion? Or do you agree that HYBE needs to take accountability? Would you be okay if your favorite group's signature Lightstick suddenly had a look-alike from another agency? Or would that feel like someone stepping on your fandom pride? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading and replying to as many as I can. And if you've got screenshots or fan edits showing the similarities, definitely share those too. Let's make this a real discussion, not just a news recap. Thanks for hanging out with me today, Buzz fam. Stay sharp, stay respectful, and as always, I'll catch you in the next deep dive right here on Anyang Buzz.